7 Democratic senators and 1 independent who broke ranks with the party Sunday night, sparking the beginning of the end of the longest of government shutdowns in U.S. history. He's also voted with Republicans over a dozen times over the course of the shutdown, while most Senate Democrats held out. Senator Fetterman's here to talk about his new memoir titled Unfettered.
I like it.
Senator, thanks so much for being with us. We will get to that in 1 minute. Just wanted you to tell our viewers, our friends, about your vote to reopen the government. What were you thinking, and why do you think it was in the best interest of the people of Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
Well, absolutely. It was always just country over the party. And now people it never made any sense to shut it down at that point anyway, because now if the Democrats in the Senate now decides in January, you're going to have the opportunity to shut it back down. And now we have a lot of time to make the argument to the nation that we want to extend those tax credits, and I actually voted countless times for those now too, and I'll be the same guy that's going to vote for them as well. Now, I refuse to put 42 million Americans, food insecurity in the middle of that. And now, why would we want to make flying less safe and that kind of chaos across our airports in the nation now too? And all the unions pay the military, pay everybody. And now that's a core responsibility for me as a senator to make sure that our government stays open and to continue to advocate the kinds of core values as a Democrat. And I'm not changing the party, but it's like, if a Democrat's not allowed to say, hey, it's wrong, it's always wrong to shut our government down. I think that's pretty reasonable, because that used to be our official position on it, honestly.
Right. Hey, Senator, let me ask you about exploding health care premiums. Obviously, Democrats, yourself included, it's about timing, want to make sure that those ACA benefits and subsidies continue. Could you talk a little bit about how much Pennsylvania voters are feeling the crush of rising insurance premiums?
Yeah, well, now let's also part of the history in all of this. These subsidies that was wrote by us, the Democrats. The Democrats wrote that, and they were designed to expire at the end of the year. When we were in the majority, we wrote that to expire. And now here we are back now to have this conversation. Now compare that in Pennsylvania. 2 million Pennsylvanians rely on SNAP to feed themselves and their family, and around 400,000 they receive these kinds of tax credits. And now we can fight for both. And that's, for me as a Democrat, that's what I'm doing. For me, the core kinds of disagreement perhaps is that shut our government down and hold all those people hostage. And I refuse to do those things. It's been a very easy vote. And I know many Democrats think that's smart to plunge us into that kind of chaos, but I refuse to do those kinds of things. And that's really at the core. And now we have a lot of time to make that argument. And if this is going to touch a lot of Republicans and their constituents, and I think it will, and now they will agree some version of that, say, hey, let's now, create more kinds of tax credits to make healthcare more affordable. And I think that is possible.
Mike Barnicle is with us, and he has the next question. Mike.
Senator, how many families in Pennsylvania depend on SNAP benefits? And were you
2
million? How many?
2 million. 2 million.
2 million families.
Oh my God.
So were you surprised at all with the intense effort made by the Trump administration to keep going to court to prevent families from receiving SNAP benefits?
No, not surprised. I'm just saying, it's like, just keep it open. And now, as long as we keep our government shut down, we're not getting SNAP, and we're not getting those tax credits that for the healthcare either. You're getting neither of them. And now, with our government is open, all of that now returns to us. And now we can have the opportunity to sell that to the American voters. And now the people, the real audience are the Republicans in the House and in the Senate to agree, yes, let's do this. But to people that are watching, it's like the Democrats, we designed these to expire at the end of the year. This wasn't something the Republicans are taking. It's like, that's how we designed this.
And Senator, good morning. We should get you on the top story of the day. The Epstein emails released yesterday. Give us your reaction to what you did read yesterday, and also what do you hope happens next? What else do you want to see make the light of day?
I think what's going to happen is, and it's entirely appropriate, release everything, release all of them. Another one of my questions is we sat on those for 4 years too. So, I don't really understand, either. There are a lot of questions. So when everything is released and everything comes out, and then we'll have a more full picture of exactly what's involved in all of these kinds of things. So, yes, I do believe there will be enough votes to release those files, and then we can have the opportunity to absorb all of it, the totality of it.
Senator, tell us about your book, Unfettered, and also why you decided to share certain parts of your journey.
Well, because there's some things that are they're not a big political winner to talk about depression and actually taking your life. But I think it's an important conversation that we have in our nation. Millions of Americans suffer from depression, and now we have an epidemic of suicide in our nation as well too. Veterans, around 18 of them take their lives, and now here we have the opportunity to have that conversation, and that's exactly what this is about. Because I've had conversations with member of Congress, I've had conversations with people all across the country now, and they've been touched by that message.
I really appreciate you sharing that with our viewers and also for the readers of the book. What are you hoping people will take away from this book?
Well, my takeaway has been consistent, and I dedicated the book to those folks. Is people that are suffering from that kinds of depression, stay in that game, stay in the game. Don't erase yourself, because I've been in that place in my life. And I'm so grateful every moment that didn't happen. And that's my message. And after losing friends to suicide as I have, I beg people to just stay in the game of life.
But is though, for you though, don't you find the Senate, don't you find political life in Washington, D.C. to be very isolating? Haven't you talked about it's just a real challenge day in and day out, isn't it, to do the people's business there?
No. It's like an honor. It's an honor to be Pennsylvania's voice in the Senate.
Right.
I'm just trying to find a way forward in that. And I know both of you have been punished to have a conversations ongoing dialogue with President Trump. I got hit just to have dinner with him after he invited me to have that conversation. Pennsylvania keeps people honest. It's like, in the most purple state in the country, it's like there's both sides. And I've always refused to call the other people, they're fascists or Nazis and those kinds of things. Trying to find a way forward is challenging, but that's the reality. And it's absolutely an honor to represent Pennsylvania in the United States Senate.
They're obviously
too. Yeah.
There have been Democrats who have been very upset at you because you have met with the president, or you voted with the Republicans some, you voted to reopen the government. I think the last time I checked, you were still voting with the Democratic Party 90% of the time, but you are an independent voice. I'm curious, for those who suggest that you may leave the Democratic Party, what do you say to them?
Well, yes, Joe, thank you for pointing that out. I think I'm like 90.6%. We all would want a marriage where you agree at 90.6% of everything in life.
Exactly.
And now, so for me, I'm a committed Democrat, and it's like I happen to have views that I think should be compatible with being a Democrat. We should be allowed to have those kinds of disagreements, because I think we all agree we have to be a big tent party to win the kinds of elections that really matter. Just unfortunately what happened in 2024. And I remember the blowback you guys got. Just how dare you to meet with and to talk to the president, so I live in that blowback, but for me, it's like,
Yeah, no, exactly. Meeting with him at the same time. Other news organizations are doing the same thing. We were just transparent about it. You're very transparent about what you do as well, and you're very transparent in your new memoir titled Unfettered.
Absolutely.
And we greatly appreciate that. We think it will help a lot of people. Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you being here.
Thank you, guys. Big fan. Thanks for your
Thanks,
work.
Senator. Thank you so much. And Mika, let me just say that, yes, I mean, most people would be happy to agree with their spouses 90% of the time, 90.6% of the time. He's right there. But how fortunate that I have a spouse that I agree with 100% of the time.
Don't do that. All right, let's bring in
99.9% of the time.
Not even, like less than 50. Let's bring in.
Wait, hold on. You agree with me less than 50% of the time?
Absolutely, yeah. I support you, but I don't always agree.
Like, what do you disagree?
We're not doing this here.
What do you disagree with?
We'll talk.
Less than 50% of the time.
I think. I mean, look at what you're wearing. Okay.